Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Nightcrawler. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have Marvel Studios X-Men 97. And then there's a group of the 97 X-Men. Nightcrawler artwork. Nightcrawler. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. 4 and up. Nice big blister showcasing the figure and his few accessories. And then on the other side here, Hasbro print. On the back, a nice digital render of Nightcrawler. It says Nightcrawler right here. Marvel Legends Series X. And we have the cross sale of Magneto, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, X-Cutioner, and Goblin Queen. Up close we can see it says each sold separately, subject to availability. And there it is again in a bunch of other languages. And here we have a number stamped on right there. Recycled print. Attention! Especially don't stick this stuff in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there in any language. Don't give it to baby. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. A barcode, Hasbro print, Marvel print, some other small print, and that thing. That, my friends, is a look. Oops. At the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help take a look at the accessories. And let's start off with the smallest of them. He does come with 2 fists. Nice molded details. I do believe these came with the previous release of Nightcrawler, and I cannot remember which Build-A-Figure wave it was. But we have that. And here's the other one. Nice molded details, all molded in white plastic. It appears in and out hinges, and that applies to both hands. The other thing is he does come with an extra head. And I like the paint apps on this. The only thing I don't like about this head is the hair. I think it's a little too windswepty looking there in the front. I don't know. There's just too much of it. Too much hair. But as far as like the paint on the face, it really does give me, you know, it does look like the animation, but it also gives me those Cockrum vibes. Dave Cockrum, who drew a lot of X-Men with Nightcrawler. And just while I've got this out, here's comparison to the extra heads that came with the previous release of Nightcrawler. You can see that's kind of, you know, the shading really makes the difference on it. And there's this one too. And these are more, well, at least this one to me is more Alan Davis than Cockrum. And then here is the other Nightcrawler with the angry head on it. And you can see it's got some of that shading in there too. And again, this really lends me more to the Alan Davis art than the Cockrum stuff. But the shading on this really looks Cockrum to me. It's just the hair kind of throws it off a bit. And I don't even really think this hair to me, it doesn't really match the animation either. I don't know what the thought process behind that was. But for the most part, this is reuse of that previous Nightcrawler body. These pieces from the elbow, well, actually the whole arm and whole leg might be new pieces, but you know, I think they're just retooled, and then they added these details in. On the previous version, it was just a paint app, and on this one it is sculpted in, and that's the same for the gloves as well. Now this piece is like an inlaid overlay, and you can see right there, and even on the last release of this particular side tends to come up a little bit. I don't know why. The tails are exactly the same as the other one, and so this is overlay. This I think is paint. This is paint, and I think it's molded in white here, but I could be wrong. It could all be black, and then this white and red are paint. You know, both paint. So let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high, and he's on that ball and hinge joint at the neck. He can look down that low. He's got chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist at the shoulder. This piece does get in the way a little bit, but it's an iconic piece of the costume, so you can't get rid of it in the mold or anything. And he does get a 360-degree rotation there. He can raise his hands up higher, or arms. He can raise his arms up at the shoulder higher than 90 degrees. Cut here at the upper bicep for a 360-degree rotation. Double hinged, pinless elbow there. That one's a little stuck. There we go. It gives you that much bend, and it also kind of looks like he's giving you the finger. 360 degrees of rotation there on an in and out hinge, and in and out hinge there as well. Kind of a standard ab crunch or ab hinge, and allows him to lean back that far, forward that far. So that's really good. No hula, no leaning left or right. Straight cut at the waist for a 360-degree rotation. Here on the tail, it's a 360-degree rotation. I would have liked for it to have had a hinge on it. And also, you know, I would have liked to seen an interchangeable tail where he could hold a sword in it. That would have been great as well. And on the previous release as well. But at least the previous release did come with a sword. This one should have come with 3 swords and an interchangeable tail that could hold one of them. But that's beside the point. Spoiler alert. At the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He kicks forward not quite 90 degrees, and back not quite a full step. Cut here at the upper thigh, 360-degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee gives you that much bend. Yeah. And then nothing in the shin. At the ankle, tilts down that far. Tilts up that far, better than most Spider-Men. And forward-facing pin for rocker. That, my friends, does it for a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Nightcrawler with the Marvel Legends Series Wendigo Build-A-Figure Waves Nightcrawler and Toy Biz Marvel Legends Nightcrawler. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Nightcrawler with our final Marvel Legends Series comparison. Making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Nightcrawler, I have to say I like this figure. The only thing I don't like about this figure is his hair. And I don't think it really matches the animation that well. That could just be me. But I don't like the hair. Now the face is it is, you know, based on the animation. But to me it feels very Dave Cockrum in the artwork, the way the shading and things are done. And I like the way the face works on this one better than the Wendigo Build-A-Figure shadowing, because they really didn't have a lot of shadow on them. But I think those heads were more based on Alan Davis artwork, and he didn't do shading a whole lot with Nightcrawler's face, not like previous artists did. There were times when yes, it did, but not, I don't think it was as often. So, you know, 1 point off for the hair on this one, but everything else is spectacular. The face sculpt, the paints, I do like the new arms and legs, and that's the reason I bought it, is because I was going to swap heads with this one and the Wendigo Build-A-Figure Nightcrawler. I was going to just pop the other Nightcrawler head on this one, but now I'm not so sure I'm going to do that, because I think I want to do an X-Men 97 display. And that, you know, that all depends on whether I can track everything down or not. At this point, it doesn't look like I am, unless Hasbro re-releases some stuff. And they probably will. But it's a great Nightcrawler, and I like the fact the new forearms and, you know, shin areas are molded now rather than just paint, and that'll help for future releases of Nightcrawler. At least I think it will. And it's just great. The sculpt is, you know, I will say 80% of this guy. Well, maybe not 80%. You know, the arms and legs are all new. The torso is all reused. The tail is reused. The head is new. So maybe about 50% of it is reuse. And, you know, that's fine. It works for this character. He didn't need 100%, you know, retool or new sculpt to match the animation, because, you know, Nightcrawler's costume is Nightcrawler's costume. At least to me. And when I think of Nightcrawler, this is the costume that Nightcrawler is in. It's not in any other thing. It's this one. But if you can't tell, I like this figure. And if you're a Nightcrawler fan, if you're an X-Men 97 fan, if you're an X-Men fan, if you're an Excalibur fan, you know, this is more than likely a pickup for you, because it's a great figure. And again, like I said, I'm docking 1 point for the hair. I just don't like that windswept look to it. I don't know. I remember him more with shorter hair than longer hair, but, you know, it's been a long time since I've read those, you know, 70s and 80s, early 80s X-Men, so I could just be remembering it in error. He may have had long shaggy hair at one time. I just, the way that they sculpted it is just not, I don't care for the way they sculpted it. It's just me. At least I guess it's just me. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you're interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe. If you'd like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.